Panda Hall presents How to Make a Charming Beaded Necklace with Rhinestone Heart Drops for Valentine's Day. Today, I'm going to be making a charming beaded necklace with a drop hearts for Valentine's Day. If you are familiar with the beading techniques that I have used before, then this piece should be a piece of cake for you. Now let's get started. So to begin, you will need 2mm silver glass seed beads, 8mm transparent faceted glass beads, 4mm transparent faceted glass beads, heart-shaped rhinestone beads, 3mm tiger wire, 5mm copper wire, iron jump rings, a brass magnetic clasp, scissors, and a long nose pliers. So, got everything together? Let's get started. For the first step, you're going to snip off 2 pieces of the 0.3mm tiger wire. These should be about 60 centimeters. Then thread 8 silver seed beads through both wires to the middle and cross both ends through a silver seed bead. Make sure the tips are even and cut so that it's easier to string the beads. Okay, now that you've made that loop, you're going to thread 12 seed beads through both wires on the right and thread 12 seed beads on just one wire on the left side. Leave one wire alone. With the 2 wires together, it might be a little bit more difficult to thread the seed beads, but be patient. Now cross the wires through another seed bead and tighten. Remember to leave one wire completely alone. Once you have tightened and done this step, thread 4 seed beads to 1 wire on one side and 4 seed beads to 2 wires on the other side, respectively. Cross both wires through a 4mm transparent faceted glass bead and tighten. Perfect. Now leave 1 wire aside and thread 2 8mm glass beads through each of the 2 wires respectively. Cross both of these wires through a 4mm glass bead and tighten. Now, thread a 4mm glass bead, an 8mm glass bead, and a 4mm glass bead onto the wire that you have just left alone. And then thread that wire through the glass bead in the bottom. Remember to keep the wires straight because it can be a little bit tricky with all the different wires. Now take the first wire that you left alone and thread it through 30 seed beads. And then thread the wire through the 8mm glass bead to 4mm glass bead on one side and then tighten. This is going to be the basic pattern for this necklace. So now we're going to repeat this pattern again. Thread 4 seed beads through 2 wires on the right and thread 4 seed beads on 1 wire on the left side. Remember the other wire to leave alone for the further stage. You're going to cross these wires to another silver seed bead and tighten. This should make the first small loop. Now thread 12 seed beads to the 2 wires on the left and 12 seed beads to the 1 wire on the right. and cross the wires through another silver seed bead. This will make the much longer loop. Again, be careful to keep the wires from tangling up. Now that you form the next loop, thread 4 seed beads through the 2 wires and another seed bead through the 1 wire. And then cross these wires through a 4mm glass bead. This is just repeating the very first pattern that we started. So you can use the first pattern as an example as you go along. Once you have created that last loop, we're going to go down to using only 2 wires. So put 1 wire aside, and this should leave you with 1 wire on each side. Now thread 2 8mm glass beads through each of the other 2 wires respectively and cross both through a 4mm glass bead. This is going to create that crystal-like ball in the middle of the beaded pattern. Now thread a 4mm glass bead, an 8mm glass bead, and a 4mm glass bead to one of the wires that was first left alone. And then you're going to thread that wire through the 4mm glass bead on the bottom. Now, the very first wire that we left alone, back at the beginning of the beaded section, you're going to add 30 seed beads. To create that loop connecting the 2 crystal circles. And thread that wire through the 8mm glass bead and the 4, and then tighten. This is your second example of the basic beading pattern. Now finish the main necklace strand by repeating this pattern until you reach the desired length. Great, now let's finish this off. Thread 2 wires through 4 seed beads and another 2 wires through 4 seed beads as well. Cross the wires through another seed bead and tighten. This is then just finish off the end and create that last little loop at the end of your necklace. Once you have created that last little circle, you're going to thread the wires through the beads and finally trim off any excess wire once you have secured the design. Now, let's add the rhinestone heart drop ornaments. Snip off 9 pieces of 0.5mm copper wire, each one about 6 centimeters, so fairly short, and twist them on one by one. Now thread a rhinestone heart bead to each pin and hook them to the necklace respectively. You're going to put one rhinestone heart at the center of each of the crystal balls along the line of the necklace. Perfect. Now this charming beaded necklace with rhinestone beautiful heart for Valentine's Day is finished. All you need to do is simply add the clasps at the end and it's ready to wear. There's only one basic pattern in making the necklace, which is easier for beginners to try. If you want to make a big surprise for your girlfriend on Valentine's Day, have a try for this necklace. Remember, you could also change it to include her favorite colors for a special touch. For more free Panda haul tutorials, please stay tuned.